And we are live. We are live. Hey, Toledo. Hey, world. So happy to have you join us again for another Thursday edition of Toledo to the World with DebraSue. And as usual, I have a superiorly interesting artist tonight that I'd like for you all to join in with me and listen to. He's extremely talented young man. I listen to his music. I think he's got a lot to say, and we're gonna say it with we're gonna have some things to say with him as well. What I do want you to do, people, is if you would like to chime in, make sure you go ahead and put your comments. We stream the comments at the bottom. We see them, and as time permits, we will also bring your comments online for you for our artists to answer as well. Okay. I want to thank all my Facebook people for joining. I'd like to thank my Instagram folks, my YouTube folks, and always I want to thank my people over on Roku as well, Roku TV, who also support. And yes, Jonathan Coleman is in the house. Welcome, J Cole. We see you, sir. We see you. Thank you, thank you. Jonathan
Mhm.
Coleman. Want to always give him a shout out. He is one of my booking agents and as well as my publicist. And I'm so happy that he's always here to join and make such an interesting conversation. So, Hoodie World, welcome to the stage.
What's happening? How you doing, Miss Deborah?
I'm so good. Oh my goodness, I'm so glad to see you. I am so glad that we have finally got a chance to link up. When I was working with the Next to Rise folks, I actually traveled and toured some of the very same places we talked about before, and Washington D.C. was one of them. Your city was another one. So I've done shows in those areas as well, and I've also taken artists on tours to those areas. And so I finally get a chance to link up with you, and I thank J. Cole, Jonathan Coleman for that. So listen, we got a half hour show, so we're gonna jump right out front with a bunch of questions. Okay, nothing too elaborate. Just be comfortable and let's just talk about who you are. First things first. Let's talk about the name Hoodie World and how you came about to have that name.
Like I was saying, originally I went by D HUD. When I was in college, I found myself as an artist, D HUD. I went 3 years ago now. I went through a life transition, and with that, I do a lot of Hoodie World. I got an actual Hoodie World page. Hoodie World also have a deeper meaning. Hoodie World is the home of the Black Straw Hat Pirates. I watch a lot of anime. I'm actually working on getting a pirate flag.
Hmm.
And so going through all of that, it was just on me. And when I'm on stage, is that's like my domain. I love giving performance and like I love that energy. And for me, what better way to that's my way of inviting people into my world. So hence the name Huddy World to get an experience into my world as an artist on stage.
For sure, for sure. And you've been doing this for a while because you have ultra comfort in your zone right now. How far back do we go with performances?
At least 20 plus years. I
And how,
started extremely young.
okay, and now I know extremely young, you were not on the rap tour. So where'd you start? Was it in church? Was it, in school, or how'd that come about?
Yes, ma'am. Church, really church and school, because I was in the middle school choir as well, as long as the youth choir at the church and things of that nature growing up. So it was just some
Hmm.
automatic. And as I got older, I honed my skills and found my lane. Cause like you said, back in them days when we was growing up, rap wasn't too much accepted in the churches. you know
Right.
it's funny now to me because I remember like we actually got kicked out of church one night for rapping, like for gospel rapping. So it's just funny now. So but it's a
Yeah,
beautiful thing to
yeah.
show you how far things also have come.
That's right. That's right. So we go back. Obviously, your mom was involved somewhere along the road, and she approved of, the path that you have taken. Is she supportive of what you do? Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, for sure. um like my mom, like she tell me all the time, one of her favorite songs of mine is a song that never been recorded, which is the very first song I ever wrote as a kid. So to me,
Hmm.
it's I find it amazing, but it's also gratifying too that she still remind me of that song.
So what was the name of it?
It was called Living in the Bricks. I was 10 years old. We was living in the projects, and back then our environment, it was different. Like it wasn't as crazy as today. We used to stay outside all day and stuff and have fun. If you go in the
Absolutely.
house, you might get stuck in the house. opening the door too much, what I'm saying, raising up the air conditioner fee, all that stuff. So we drunk the water out the water hose because it wasn't worth going in the house to get the ice water. You might get cussed out. So,
You know what? I remember the days very, very well. But I'm gonna tell you what, we were much better people for that kind of discipline because my mom, it was seven of us, and she was the same way. You get outside and you stay outside. You want some water, drink out the hose. You're fine. Yeah. Well, you know what? Let me ask you this because I want to. Hey, Latoya, welcome to the stage. Love, appreciate you joining us. Let me ask you this. When you were in college, because you went from college straight to the armed services, did you perform while you were in college as well?
Oh, yes, ma'am. At Fort Valley State University. Shout out to my Wildcats brothers and sisters. Yeah, we had fun. Like we did it's a club that's called the Swamp. That when we was back in school, '08 and stuff, and we had a performance on campus where it was a little competition, and I know I walked away out of there the winner. A lot of people underestimated me. I love to be underestimated, but the thing I love about it is I put the grind in. Like I put the work in behind the scenes. Like I don't care for all
Mhm.
the attention and stuff, but when I put on the show, like I want the work and the love that I have for the craft to show, and it shows when you're doing live performances. Like people
Yeah,
walk
for
away with
sure.
that. Like you can have the numbers online, but if I don't put the work in, when I get to a live show, you be disappointed. So my thing is I want to always make sure people are happy with a performance that they see from Huddy World.
Yeah. And do you travel to perform now?
Yes, ma'am. I got a management team right now. Shout out to my management team, 1842 Management LLC. We getting everything together. So
So
this
that
second
means we're gonna
quarter.
see we may see you in Ohio pretty soon then, huh?
Yes, ma'am. If the numbers and everything work out, make sense. I'm always down to travel, to come see the
Yeah.
people, to give them a show. That's
Mm-hmm.
what it's all about. Like, what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We do this for the people. So
What in your estimation, what is the most challenging part of your career right now as you stand here today? What's the most challenging part of your career?
because I'm so different and unique, they
Mm-hmm.
trying to figure out what to do with me, just to be
Okay.
honest.
Okay.
It's,
Yeah. So you stand on that 10 toes down. You don't plan on changing, do you?
nah.
Yeah.
Cause
Nothing wrong with
like
that.
because that's the thing. That's what make me me, right? Like they
Mhm.
say, everybody in the industry sound the same. Nobody daring to be different. But my whole life growing up, I was always told dare to be different. Shout out to Sister Tammy Jones. My youth pastor growing up, what I'm saying, our youth minister that looked over her, she always looked at me different than all the other kids. And Sister Tammy always told me to dare to be different. And as I got
Mhm.
older, I understood why she told me that, because I'm truly different. I always been set apart from the crowd, and I can't be nothing else but myself. And that's
Yeah.
what make Huddy World. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
you know what? That's what makes you refreshing too, because we see so many mainstream artists that really, honestly, they're cookie cutters. They all sound and talk about the same thing. I think the main thing that carries a lot of artists nowadays is it's that underbeat, it's that bass beat, it's the music that makes it more attractive. But if you were to take away that music and you just had the lyrics, they all are the same. They all sing about the same subjects, and it's nice to have a refreshing artist out here that will stand 10 toes down and be true to himself and say, hey, if I'm different, you like me, and if you don't, then move on.
Yes, ma'am.
I like that. Jonathan is he's saying shout out to Ida, who is, let's see, Ida Hudson. She's your mom.
Yes.
And she's a proud member of Blacktopia. So that's awesome. Hey Ida, shout out to you. Latoya, of course, Ida son. Yeah, she's saying hey Ida son.
Hello. Hey, Miss Latoya.
So, Bray Crenshaw, this podcast is called Toledo to the World with DebraSue. We are seen on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and on Roku TV. So, we're kind of all over the place and talking to everybody about Toledo. And we're also bringing shining artists like Huddy World into the Toledo realm so that folks out here in these parts of the woods know who this young man is. Let's talk about your latest project. Let's see what you got on the horizon for yourself. What's out right now?
We just did a super scrub. I just did a super scrub of everything to get a lot of music re-registered. but we do have a single dropping next month called Me. We getting ready to do the rollout for it. Um, it'll be Huddy World featuring December 1st. Another member of somebody that I work with that's a part of the management team that I work with, 1842, like I said, and that's gonna drop, and then we're gonna roll out from there. So we getting
Okay,
ready to do a master rollout. I'm finna get a lot of music re-registered because we had to fix some things behind the scene, but now we got everything where we needed to be to handle the business side. Because you want to make sure your business side took all right.
for
And it's
sure.
pretty dope that you mentioned Toledo because I got a homie that's born and raised from Toledo that I met in the army, and I got to give him a shout out. Shout out to my boy Moses Ramey, that is a Toledo, Ohio individual, man. I met him in the army. One of my battle buddies from the 47 Combat Support Hospital. So shout out to my boy Moses Ramey. Yeah.
When you write your music, when you get in the studio, because I've been in the studio with a lot of artists, and I watch a lot of you guys work, and some of you guys come in already with your papers written out, and other guys I've seen them get in there and they do everything from the dome, and it's like that's some of the best lyrical geniuses that I have seen that just get in, close their eyes, and they just come out with this just amazing song. What motivates you when you're in the studio, and um, how do you relate that to the music? Because you get your choice of music, you have your producer, right? Do you sit and listen to the music and kind of let it vibe in you, or do you say, hey, I got a song? Do you take the song to your producer? What motivates you, and how do you decide to choose the type of beat that you choose?
I don't really choose the beats. I let the beats choose me. I
Okay.
feel like every instrumental is its own experience. So that's how I treat the music. That's why my music sound the way it sounds, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And most of the time when I go to the studio, I already got a couple of songs ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
And then once I knock out those songs, you get that's when you get the music turned on. Like the single we finna get ready and drop is actually one of those type of songs to where we had an hour left in the studio. We recorded everything we needed to record. They turned on
Mm-hmm.
the beat and we jumped right in the studio and went to work. One nothing went down. We just went to work.
So, who are you collaborating with? Is it a collaborate? Is it a solo effort?
It's a collaboration with December 1st, another member that worked with another one of the artists that worked with the management team.
Mm-hmm.
Me and him
What
got
do
a
you
couple of songs together actually.
Because I know, because you've been in the game for a while. I know people, they want to collab with you and they want to do they're like, "Hey, let's work together." Have you ever come across a situation where you had an artist that you wouldn't work with? Don't
Um,
name the name though if it's true. Just don't name the name though.
um, once, and it was a confusing situation because
Mhm.
I went to perform for a friend, and we ran across this individual somewhere. You know, they were saying they do music, and I'm like, okay, we could work and do music, and it turned into like they basically saying I was trying to hit on them, and luckily I had a individual that was right there to witness the whole situation,
Yeah.
and so that alone make me move differently when dealing with female artists, because I know not all of them like that, but it just show you how quickly things can get messy. And then when
For
you
sure.
done worked and invested and put so much time in this game, it don't take much to get you, out the way. One false
Mhm.
accusation or anything like that. We see what's going on
Yes.
right now, real time. So
Yeah.
um you have to be mindful of those things, and one way to protect myself from doing that is like I got a management team now, so they can deal with those things. Just contact my management team.
Yeah, I was about to walk you down that street next because I'm real big on having management, as you know, because I've managed artists myself. I'm big on that, and your manager is probably very, very protective of you by getting not just your music protected and a security team and so forth, but I'm pretty sure they look out for you as far as to who's safe to collaborate with and who maybe they tell you maybe you shouldn't collaborate with. So I'm glad to hear that. You've been in it long enough to know that you got to be smart. You have to be smart now because some people would take that ride with you, and the ultimate intent is never really a good one. And so it's good that you found out early in the game how to protect yourself like that. Are you going to be releasing videos too with those songs, with the news, with the releases?
Yes, ma'am. The song will roll out with the video. We already working on that right now behind the scenes. So we finalizing all of that, the details
Okay,
on the video right now. But most definitely
perfect.
in March, this me Huddy World featuring December 1st will be the first of the singles we roll out. But we got more to follow after that.
That's
So we
amazing.
just, yeah, we figuring out how we gonna roll out the songs. We
Yeah,
working.
it's a planning process, and you know, some right now you right at the right time of year. About March, April is when everybody starts breaking this new stuff out. And you know, when I listened to your music, I couldn't really place you that you sounded like anybody, because a lot of times I'll listen to somebody and you know I can kind of tag if it's you know island music or if it's you know Tupac West Coast related. Where do you get your influence from? Where do you get your motivation from for your music? Is did you have like an icon that you looked up to other than you know the obvious Biggie and Tupac? But do you have a favorite that you reach back to kind of relate to a little bit?
I grew up on hole in the wall music, so what we call it, right? The bootlegger type music. So I grew up on that music and listening to the Temptations. So I think that's what kind of helped me. That's what make me that's why you get all the different styles and flows when it comes to the music because
Uh-huh.
of the graphs. Like I enjoy the Isley Brothers. You know, um,
Listen, listen.
so when you take that stuff into consideration and I hear the music, and like I said, I allow the music to speak to me, and so I might sing on certain tracks that what an average person wouldn't sing on it. But if
Yeah,
that's what I hear when I hear it, that's what I'm gonna do.
for
But
sure,
it's
for sure.
also fun too
Yeah.
because the music speak to you differently, and a lot of people try to fight that, but
Yep.
ain't no need to fight the music. You know what I'm saying? And that's like I
Absolutely.
said earlier. I treat each track like its own beautiful ball game, like it's a beautiful experience, and we finna paint a picture once me and this music speak to each other. Because sometimes you get a track, you on the track might fight each other for the first 3-4 days. Like the track
Yes.
don't like you, you don't like the track. Like y'all
Yes.
bumping heads because what you hearing in the beat, not until y'all find that beautiful wave.
Yeah.
Then now we can create some beautiful, and then sometimes it don't work at all. Like all right,
Exactly. You know, DJ Steady, thank you for your appreciation for the show. And
oh
Toya,
shout
thank
out
you
to
for your
DJ
comment.
Steady.
DJ Steady said, loving the show. Latoya said, always enjoy watching the show. Thank you so very much, young lady. I appreciate you. She's such a I can't even describe this girl. She's such an example for young women to follow because she is really a health guru and she's aging backwards. She looks good every time I see her. She looks a year younger. But you know what? And I agree with you on your statement because I've been in the studio. I've been doing this for 2 decades now, and I've been in the studio with artists, being there 4 or 5, 6, 7, 8 hours, and you are fighting the beat, and then something just magically takes over, and then you tend to find the groove in the music, and then you say, okay, yep, that's it. At your most tired hour, that you've been there fighting this thing, figuring out how you can make all these riffs fit into what you're trying to do, or you got to put those riffs in the background, and it's like, no, it doesn't fit there. That's just not working. Those ad libs. So I have experienced that myself with artists, and it's like, that last one after about 9 hours, that's it right there. Don't touch it. Leave it alone. But it just gets better and better. So yeah, I can actually relate to that. And when you mentioned the Isley Brothers and the Temptations, okay, you got an instant fan with me right now because, you know, yeah, your mom probably listened to those, and you got that old soul going on, and that probably comes out in a whole lot of how you translate your music. So I love that. I love that. What about let me ask you this, because I have often seen, after so many years, because you've been in this thing for a while, do you ever figure that, do you get in a rut sometime? Do you kind of hit a wall sometime, and you just, how do you come out of that situation? I ask this of every artist because every artist, they say, well, that sounds like the last one, or I can't get the inspiration for this, or how do you, have you ever had that situation, and how did you overcome that?
uh my day-to-day life is crazy. So a lot of my inspiration come from the madness in my daily life. And because I'm very optimistic, I tend to take the madness and turn it into beautiful melodies
Yeah.
rather than just give in to the anger. Because I just feel like at the end of the day, we all have a choice, right? I got a choice to give into this anger, or I could
Mm-hmm.
choose to just say forget about it and keep pushing. Because at the end of the day, like, life goes on. I can't worry about the problems. You know what I'm saying? I can handle the problems that I can handle, but if something out of my control, ain't no need for me to stress about it. I
Yeah.
just need to keep doing what I need to do, and
Yeah.
everything else will fall into place.
You are definitely an old soul, because you know what? That just hit home right there. You can't do some things you just can't do anything about, and a lot of times when you put that in your music and you express, somebody is going to relate to that. They will relate to that, and you will help somebody by showing them how to overcome by coping with a situation. Where do you see yourself in 5 years from now? I've often heard this, that 35 and 40 are too old for artists. I happen not to believe that, by the way, because most of the most successful individuals in music now are in their 30s and 40s. What's your take on that?
um, the one thing about music and people is music speak to the inner being of people, right? And when you make good music, one thing people can't deny is great music, because the music speak for itself and people gonna
That's right.
automatically respond naturally to when they hear good
Mm-hmm.
music. They gonna get up and dance, they gonna respond a certain way. And so to the people that say not so, it's just that's how you feel. It depends on what you're trying to do. Like if you reaching out to a younger crowd, then you would say, yeah, music is not for that. But it's a whole group of adults that like grown and sexy music that's
Yeah.
been thriving for that type of music for a long time. And I
Mm-hmm.
just want them to know Huddy World is here to, stay on the lookout, because that's what I'm here for, that grown and sexy crowd.
Yeah, I like that. Now, what state are you in right now?
I'm in the state of Georgia right now.
Yeah, I thought I was picking up on a little bit of an accent there. You sounded southern. Are you from? Were you born and raised there?
Yes, ma'am. I was born and raised in the state of Georgia, LaGrange, Georgia, to be exact. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Troup County baby, or what
Yeah.
they would like a lot of people in the state of Georgia refer to as Trap County, born and
Okay.
raised, and I love it. It made me into the individual I am today.
Uh-huh. That's good to hear that kind of pride. Now, I did ask you a minute ago, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
A superstar where the whole world know my name.
Okay. That's ambitious, and I like that. I love that. Yeah, when that happens for you, don't forget Deborah Sue. She's gonna have to come in, follow you around so I can get the number one story of the number one artist out here.
Oh yes, yeah, for sure. And shout out to like you said, the DJ Steady. He had me on maybe last week.
Hmm.
I've been tapped in with him as well.
I
So
love
I
that.
love it. Oh yes, ma'am.
So how do you feel the relationship between your DJs there in Atlanta are in relation to the artists? Do you guys get much support from your DJs and your radio hosts and so forth?
Me personally, like I just got back to the state of Georgia. I've been gone for
Okay.
16 years. So when I drop in March, that's gonna be a big eye opening for everybody in the state of Georgia. Like,
Mhm.
he done came home. So
Yeah. Okay.
that's what I'm on. You know what I'm saying? I trust my team with the direction they handling things and moving.
Hmm.
I trust my management team to guide me the right way, and I'm gonna do what they asked me to do as an artist. Because I'm actually enjoying just being an artist at this point. Because the first 10 years into this, I didn't have no management team. It was all on me. So
Hmm.
I'm enjoying the
Okay.
moment of having that representation and
For
just
sure, for
enjoying
sure.
being able to create the music at this point in time.
Yeah. So the music that you have out, I had a couple of requests here for you to post your links up. Where can folks find you if they want to get in touch with you and I want to listen to your music?
I got they can actually follow me on Instagram at official Huddy. I also got my SoundCloud and stuff. Like I said, unfortunately, we had to do a master scrub today on YouTube because we had to handle some business thing. We'll get that music back up hopefully here by the end of the week. We'll have all the music back up.
Yeah.
But we had to handle some legal things with the music. So unfortunately, a
Yeah.
lot of the music that was online we had to pull down today. and we'll
Yeah.
get it back up to y'all as soon as possible.
Listen, do not be ashamed to say that, because I've actually done it for artists. Until you have your business right and you have your
Yeah.
music protected by copyright, till you have everything in order, don't put your music up. Okay. And if you find that you did, by all means, at some point, take it down, take care of the business aspect, and then you can always put it back up. I think
Mm-hmm.
let's so there was a relatively famous person who just did that, who took down all the music, got it situated appropriately by copyrights, and then put everything back up so people could get paid accordingly. And so that's a good thing that you do that. And we look forward to when you get your music put back up. But in the meantime, Xanders, go ahead and follow him on his page. And I'll have Jonathan post his link down below. Jonathan, if you can do that for me, post his link so that I have people asking where they can find this young man. So please go ahead and do that for me. Okay. What's up, Michael J. Terry? Glad to see you. Thank you for joining us. He
Yeah.
said, let's go. We are going at it. Yes.
What up,
Okay. So
Mike?
we got plans for you. You have plans for the next 5 years. We're looking forward to hearing and seeing from you. Who do you want to give you shout outs to? We're at the 6:26 hour. I have 4 more minutes for you to give your shouts out.
Oh yes, ma'am. Like you said, shout out to Jonathan Coleman. Shout out to my boy Terry. I see you in here, brother. Shout out to Miss Crenshaw. It been dope. I met Miss Crenshaw through Terry and Southside Mike and watching their show. I love it. Shout out to my management team, like I said, 1842 management team. And I'm excited for the new music. Like I said, we got me on the way. Shout out to my co-host of the Play Live radio show, Mr. EMG man himself. And yeah, man, I'm just ready to get it done. I'm ready to get it done. Like I said, we'll have the music up for y'all real soon. We just, like I said, we found out it was some loopholes with legal things. And the last thing you want to do, and the last thing I'm be worried about, you do not want to have a number one hit song and you not get paid for your hard
That's
work, bro. So make sure your business right. And if business not right, man, don't never be afraid to cease and assist so you can get your business right, so you can properly take care of yourself and those that help you create the beautiful music that we create. Don't let nobody tell you it's a lot of hard work that go into this stuff, the hours that people don't see, them
that's
the
right.
hours that, like, for an individual like me, I love those hours, but it don't do you no good to put them hours in if you're not gonna receive your residual on the back end.
Absolutely. And you know what? That is the takeaway for this show. He has said what I have been preaching for the last 20 years. Do not get yourself, I say two things. Don't get yourself to a point where you have all of your music out and you can't get paid for it because you didn't copyright it. Okay. And also, if you have legal troubles, get them over with before you hit the road and you find out you can't cross state lines. Okay. Get that stuff taken care of before you actually get that. If you're serious about your music, those are the things you will take care of. Those are the major things you will take care of. But there's a whole host of other things that your managers will make sure that you have to that you take care of as well. Jonathan has posted the Instagram link below, so everybody be sure that you follow this young man. I'm following him so far. I'm liking what I'm hearing. I'm waiting for you to get on the road so that we can scream. And by any means, my DJ friends, if you're on here, whether you're here in Atlanta, I've been out to Atlanta to some of the radio stations there. If you hear this young man, please be sure to give him a spin. Give him a spin. Listen to his music. That's another thing I want to say to all you artists out there. Make sure you have radio worthy music, okay, and that they don't have to bleep out
Mm-hmm.
every other word. You can have your
Mm-hmm.
original, but make sure you have that radio edit as well so they don't have to charge your manager to go in and edit it for you before they play it. So make sure you guys check him out. Make sure you check him out on the platforms as well. I am so happy to have had you. I really do appreciate you for coming on and spending the last half hour with me. Make sure you come back and you join me next time, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Nice. Thank you for having me on the show tonight, Miss Deborah. And I'm looking forward to, what I'm saying, talking to you and the people of Toledo as I continue this journey.
Absolutely. And I'm probably hop back into doing some more shows again. I hadn't been on the road since COVID because I was taking care of some other businesses that I had started as well. But I got a couple artists that I feel really do need to get out of Toledo and get back on the road, or I may do a couple shows between here and Detroit. And when I line those up, I'll be sure to invite you down if you can make it through, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we got a
Yes,
little
ma'am.
stall there. All right, everybody, that's gonna wrap my show up for tonight. Make sure you join me again next week for another fantastic show of Toledo to the World with Deborah Sue. We are seen on Facebook Live here at Deborah Sue. We are on Instagram at Glass City Talent /Deborah Sue. We're also on Roku, Toledo to the World with Deborah Sue, and YouTube, Glass City Talent /Toledo to the World. Make sure you guys follow me, and please, when you hop on over to the YouTube channel, make sure you please like, and you follow me, okay? Because you're the reason why I'm here, everybody. I like to introduce what our city is about. I love our little city. We're not little by any means, but people think we are. We're not that far from Detroit, about 45 minutes out of Detroit. We are the center of everything, and we are as big as anybody else. And so we also like to bring in talented people like Hoodie World and introduce him to our part of the world. So we're gonna see you all next week. Until then, make sure you stay warm. Make sure you love up on each other and appreciate the day that we have. And we will see you all next week, same time, same place, same channel. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Hoodie.
You're welcome.
Okay, bye guys.